Let's get into it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? Everybody in Canada holding it down, in the US holding it down. It's your boy Denver.
Yes, and it's your boy Josh. Welcome to the Josh and Denver podcast, or the Denver and Josh podcast. Again, however you guys want to put it. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. We got a busy week. Last week trying to get you this podcast before, the games start in about an hour. But yeah, there's some great games coming up, and there's some great games last week. And give you guys a bit of a recap and some predictions for the games coming up.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into the last week's predictions that we had come up with. I believe I won the battle. Yeah,
Yeah,
what was it? It was the record was like 3-2 for the games that we predicted on.
Yeah, 3-2. So yeah, the first week you ever won, man.
Jeez, you're trying to get at me, bro. Allow me, bro.
And it was tight too.
Honestly, like I said, and I've been saying this, the football gods were never on my side, but they decided to be on my side this week. And I literally thought they were going to be really on my side because I was looking for a sweep. I'm looking for a sweep, but it just wasn't to be. So it's all good.
Yeah, I think you won the Arizona-Chicago game.
Yes, sir.
You won what the game?
I won the Chargers and the Bengals.
Yeah, that was a slap, I think.
Not really a slap, but it was a high-scoring game for sure. Who else did I pick that one? Let me get ESPN going.
Yeah, because I wanted the Steelers game.
Yeah, the Steelers and the Ravens game. That one cheesed my soul, bro.
And I think I won those Buffalo, New England. I picked New England.
Yeah, you did. You did, yeah. Did we pick I think we picked the Jets and the Eagles because you wanted to go with your favorite team. And of course, man, Jets are not gonna pull out that, man. Come on now. You got too much faith in your boy Zach Wilson, man. That boy is not ready. He is not ready, bro.
Bro, yeah. I mean, Philly's a better team. But the thing about it, it's not even Jalen Hurts didn't even play.
I know. Gardner.
That's why I was like, yo, we're gonna win this because Jalen's not even gonna play. But Gardner Minshew, man, he, like I said, he has a lot of experience, but I didn't expect him to play like that.
Yeah. You doubting Gardner Minshew, bro, because honestly, that man was actually kind of nice in his Jacksonville days. I feel like Jacksonville, because they had landed at the number one pick, this past last year, they had to go with Trevor Lawrence because he was such a transcendent quarterback. The projection for Trevor Lawrence was like his ceiling was very high. So they had no choice but to go with him. And of course, with someone who is as transcendent as that, or who you think is supposed to be, this superstar from early, you're going to move forward with him. And they didn't know what to do with Gardner Minshew, even though he was a decent player. So they let him go. But the man is he's a starting quarterback in this league, honestly. And bruh, honestly, I feel like he gave Jalen Hurts a little bit of a run for his money, even though I love Jalen Hurts, man. And I would love to continue to see him, being the starting quarterback for the Eagles, man. I feel like this can spark up a little quarterback controversy, man. For, future games or for maybe the next upcoming season. So who knows?
Yeah, because they have Washington upcoming. That's a possibly winning game. Washington is playing really well right now. But yeah, I'm surprised that after the game, their coach Nick Sirianni said they were gonna stick with Jalen Hurts as a starter. I'm like, yeah, but you guys are 6-7. You're kind of in the middle for the playoff hunt for that wild card spot. Mm-hmm. You just stick with the hot hand, and they're gonna go back to Jalen Hurts. So that's an interesting decision. I wonder if he's gonna have a short leash. As he goes in the game and he has 3 series where they have no points to just pull him for Gardner. No idea.
That's what I feel is gonna happen. That's basically what you just said is going to occur. Jalen Hurts now is going to be on this short leash because of how well Gardner Minshew showed that he could play in that one game, right? It's like Jalen Hurts has to really come with his hard hat and be prepared to play well, or bruh, you going on the bench, bruh. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it is. Football is a business at the end of the day, man. You always go with the hot hand. Um, and I guess Jalen Hurts has done enough this season to show that, okay, he should still be given the starting position for this upcoming game. But if you mess up, we got someone else to back you up. We got someone else that can, take the lead. So, yeah, I'm just, hoping that Jalen Hurts can really, ball out, but we'll see, man. Again, this is going to spark a quarterback controversy. I can really see it.
Yeah, and like especially since the head coach and GM, they're all like aligned with Jalen Hurts. I mean, they put all their chips in with him. That's why they got rid of Carson Wentz. Like, we have our guy. We all believe in Jalen. So let's trade, Carson to the Colts. You know what I mean? So I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that they're not giving up on him because, like I said, like like the coach is aligned. Him getting the job was because he feels like he can win with Jalen Hurts, and he believes in Jalen Hurts. So I'm not surprised he's not giving up on him. But yeah, like it's also that tough balance. Is it a business decision? You're trying to win games, or are you trying to stick with your guy? And so it's always that's always the battle for a lot of teams and players. So yeah, interesting to see how he plays this week against Washington.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, that's a game to look out for. And also a game that we can maybe put our predictions on as well, because that's going to be an interesting NFC game. But yeah, man, let's talk about your Jets though a little bit, bro. Like, what's going on with them, man? Like, like is Zach Wilson the guy or not? Like, what do you think, bro?
I think he's still developing. Like, he's still like I said, we don't have the players around him. Like, if he was 2-3 years in, like, Sam Darnold was, I'm like, bro, like, you haven't really shown us what you can do. I feel like he still has the arm talent, still has, the skills to make the plays outside the pocket. His numbers weren't that bad. 23 for 38, 226, 2 TDs, 1 INT. I mean, they're decent numbers, bad. But I'm saying that, like, yeah, like Tevin Coleman played decent. Like, we need more. I think we needed more of a running game, put more balance in the offense. But we were down, so I understand. Obviously, when you're down, you want to pass the ball more.
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel like, man, like it's a tough year, man. Like this year's a wash. I feel like this offseason is gonna be really important. Like, I'm really gonna be paying attention to the offseason in terms of who we draft, who we bring in as free agency, who we trade for. Like, we need to have a really good offseason to kind of develop going forward, because this year is a wash. Like, we might win a few more games, but like this rest of the year is to see how Zach develops in terms of reading the defense and reading coverages and establishing like a little more comfortability in the pocket and see how he develops. But like, yeah, this year, like, we don't have the players, we don't have the structure around him. So hopefully next year we can give him that and see how he plays next year. So for me, I want to sit and wait till year 2. Cause I think this year is, like you said, like, like we just don't got the dogs.
Yeah, for real. I mean, yeah, I feel like I agree, man. I don't know. Zach Wilson, it's not like I hate him or anything. I don't hate him, but I just, the way that New York is, their organization and just the dark cloud that they've had over them for so long, it's not the best environment for a young quarterback. It's just unfortunate. I hope, like, I wish for the best for Zach Wilson, but it's hard to be successful over there, man. And that's why I don't know if I can see it changing. Because usually in these first couple years, in your first year, right, it's a developmental year, of course. But if you don't develop much, if you don't show much upside, it can very well hinder your confidence and hinder your progression in this league. So, again, I hope for the best for this guy, but I don't know if he'll be successful at the end of the day. I just, I don't know. But in terms of their overall offense, man, like, I like their receiving core, and they have some good young players emerging as well. I mean, Elijah Moore is looking very good. That was a pretty good draft pick on your guys' part. But yeah, you guys need to draft a running back or something. Get more protection from the O-line, of course. Tevin Coleman is all right, but like he's not really I wouldn't say he's a premier back, right?
He's a
Get
guy you gotta
someone.
have a guy like another pair him with another running back. Have him as kind of like a rotation running back. But I think
Yeah,
he's not bad. He's decent.
yeah, he's decent, but I feel like they need someone that they can really rely on in the run game for a young quarterback. I mean, like, young quarterbacks and in the running game are supposed to be best friends, you know what I'm saying? So literally Zach Wilson, because he doesn't really have that reliance on the run game like that, it's hard to be successful, right? So yeah, let's see how your Jets do in the draft, man. But they've never been known to make great decisions. So
Yeah, we gotta have a good year. Hopefully, like this off season, like we can put some pieces together. Like we're 12 games in, so there's 5 games left. So the season is kind of basically like almost done. Like,
yeah, so watch for you guys.
yeah, and so next year is the year that I'll be really looking out for. Definitely, we gotta really push these teams like Buffalo and New England, who are in our division, who are real tough. So, yeah, it's an interesting year because New England's gonna get better. Buffalo's always looking to get better. So we gotta level up and be like, what are we doing to match what the Patriots and the Bills are doing? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that New England and Bills game, or let's get into that game. Um, a very key divisional game that occurred in week 13. Man, the weather was it was not conducive for football. I mean, it wasn't conducive for the passing game, I would say. The winds were at a high level. So basically New England's workaround was to just run the ball down Buffalo's throat, and that was successful for them. They had a good 3-back rotation with Damian Harris, Stevenson, and Bolden. All of them were just all of them were just running it like down their throats, basically. Like Buffalo couldn't handle it, to the point where Mac Jones didn't even have to pass the ball much. I think he passed the ball twice that
3 times, bro. That's
three
it. Three
times.
times.
So like if you can picture what type of game that was, like it was definitely just straight smash mouth football. Like, I'm just gonna run it. Mac Jones didn't even have to do much at all, just making sure your handoffs are right. um yeah, man, it's Bill Belichick, man. Again, he's really established something there, and it's just like how I mentioned before, man. When you have a young quarterback, you really like a young quarterback in the run game are supposed to be best friends, bro. Like that's how you kind of like survive as a young quarterback. Because I mean, although Mac Jones is getting better, and he seems like he's light years ahead of all the other rookie quarterbacks within his class, he still needs that running game. And I feel like he may not have been as successful as he is, without the running game that they have now. So yeah, kudos to Bill Belichick for establishing that culture and establishing that method of football. And yeah, man, New England's looking scary, man. They're looking dangerous.
Yeah, like definitely, like to me, it's like comes down to a lot of factors like coaching. Like Bill Belichick just outcoached McDermott. Like I said, everyone knew how windy it was that game, how cold it was. Josh Allen threw the ball 30 times, like 30 times in the wind like that, like passes were sailing and everything like that. I'm like, bro, Bill Belichick was like, nah, we're just gonna run the ball, which they did. I think it was like 30 or 40 plus times. To me, it just came down to out scheming the like opposition, and like Bill Belichick had a better game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bills should have kind of mirrored that and should have ran the ball more instead of having Josh Allen throw the ball so many times. Like I said, like the score was 14-10. So we've all been in those type of games, but like I said, it comes down to the trenches. It's cold games, rainy, it's windy. You're like, no, there ain't been no passing in this game. So as a DB, you gotta support the run. So you just have to creep up and support the run. It's gonna be a running game. And yeah, the Patriots just had the way better game plan. Like, like you said, like it was just, to me, like it just comes down to Bill Belichick and come down to with the right scheme. And yeah, like smash them out football down to the trenches, battle the O line to D line. So that's what I think. I think the story of the game is New England's O-line dominated, Buffalo's D-line, and that's where the game
Mm-hmm.
was. And so, yeah, I just think, man, what was Buffalo doing? Why are they throwing the ball so much? Why don't they run the ball more? Like, you can't pass like that, like, when it's that windy. And so, to me, like, that was the story of the game for me, just the O-line versus D-line, establishing the run, and just the better offensive scheme by Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. Basically, yeah, we can just chalk it up to New England's O-line just dominating this whole game. But I also want to, touch on Buffalo not really having a run game. I think they don't have as much faith in Devin Singletary as, um, that running back to really carry the load, and they really just put it on Josh Allen's back. And
Yeah.
that wasn't the game plan. They need a strong run game. And I feel like maybe Devin Singletary is not that solution. Maybe he's a good changeup back, but maybe they need another running back to really, um, help and aid in the run game there. And Josh Allen was the leading rusher. I mean, he was the leading rusher at 6 carries and 39 yards. So they didn't really have much of a rushing attack at all. At all. Like, it was very minimal. So man, they need to work on that. Honestly, if Buffalo is looking to be, that team at the head of the AFC, you got to develop that run game, man. And again, New England, man, they just seem to be doing it right. So we'll see what they do in the draft. Because I mean, they have the passing attack. Although it didn't, I mean, of course, it's not going to work in those conditions. But in a regular conditional game, like, when the weather is nice, that's going to be effective. But in these types of games, because again, you're playing in Buffalo, you never know how weather's going to be. You got to kind of develop that game on the ground as well.
Yeah, definitely in the playoffs too. Like, in the playoffs, whether the game's at New England or Buffalo, it's going to be pretty cold. So, like, having that run game is especially key. And so, like you said, they're going to have to establish that down the stretch and in the playoffs, because, like, that's going to be really important, because there might be similar type conditions in the playoffs where it's a cold weather game, especially in the AFC. So you're going to have a running game, or you're going to have to show something different, run a lot of screens. If you don't have a run game, establish something where you're able to get those short yardage plays, to open up the bigger plays. And so, yeah, Buffalo's definitely have to figure it out. Whether they're 7-5, still got time.
Yeah,
They still might make the playoffs. I'll be shocked if they kind of crumble all the way down. But yeah, definitely have to, like, figure out some type of solution for their run game, especially in these type of conditions and games.
yeah, definitely. Yes, sir. So we got through 2 games. Again, so it's 1-1 because again, you won the Patriots and the Bills game. I won the Jets and the Eagles. But let's get to another game that I won though.
Trying to get to one of those games quick, eh?
Yes, sir, man. Because we're not trying to divert everyone's attention from my W this week. All right, because I won. All right, I get to celebrate here. Anyways, Bengals and Chargers, bro. Bengals and Chargers, you already know the deal, man. I just really had some great faith in Justin Herbert. Honestly, throughout that game, it was such a high scoring game. I really thought that the Chargers are going to run away with it in the beginning, because at halftime it was like 24 to like 10 or something like that. Like, they scored 24 points in the first half. But I believe the Bengals had started to make a little bit of a comeback. And it took, again, the Chargers to kind of put their foot on the gas a little bit more to bring the game out and score, 41 points. What I really took from this game is, Justin Herbert, man, that boy launched the ball down the field, bro. And he dangerous, because that boy can really throw the ball. He can really throw the football downfield. And when you got like targets like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, like, Mike Williams is just like the best contested catcher that, like, you in this game right now. Like, I don't know who can compare with him. That man, if you throw a 50-50 ball up to him, it's not even 50-50, bro. It's more like 70-30. Mike Williams, he gonna come down with that ball, bro. Like real talk. So
Mm.
just the weapons that Justin Herbert has, and again, the ability to really get the ball down the field. That man has one of the best arms in this game. Um, they're just big plays waiting to happen, man, and that's how they can put up so many points. So yeah, shout out to that receiving core, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Guyton, all of them putting work. Jared Cook a little bit at tight end. They all putting work. So yeah.
Yeah, that was a good pick by you. Like I said, Chargers had a better offense, but to me, their defense has been kind of lacking the last few weeks. But their defense played, held them up to only 22 points. Like you said, like it was a battle of the young QBs, Herbert versus Joe Burrow, and Herbert showed that he's already more developed than Joe Burrow right now, and he's the one that has the most weapons as well. So he's able to show that many phases of his game. Like there's a nice throw to Mike Williams on the sideline with 50-50 ball. When he got that was pretty sick. And and the defense played pretty well too. Shout out to Canadian Tavon Campbell.
Yes, shout out to him.
He had a fumble recovery for a touchdown during this game. So yeah, and he's had getting some good playing time in secondary as well. So shout out to him. And like the Bengals just couldn't keep up on offense. They couldn't go blow for blow. And with Chargers like that, the Chargers are on, and they're clicking on all cylinders on offense. You got to go blow for blow with them. Whose offense is better, and right now the Chargers offense is just levels ahead of the Bengals right now, but it doesn't mean that the Bengals can't develop that in the next 5 games and in the playoffs. So yeah, so interesting game, interesting see how both teams are going to play down the stretch. But yeah, I definitely didn't expect the defense to play that well for the Chargers. I thought it was going to be more of blow for blow, 41-40 type game, all high scoring. But yeah, so the defense did step up for the Chargers, and kudos to them for that.
Yeah. Shout out to Tavon Campbell again. Yeah, I mean, we gotta shout out our Canadian products, of course. But yeah, defense really did make some certain key plays when they needed to, some key turnovers against Joe Burrow. I wouldn't say all the turnovers were Joe Burrow's fault, of course. But it was great that the Chargers were able to force those, and they were able to convert those into points. Again, that's really how you win games, right? Converting those turnovers, those key big plays from the defense to points. Yeah, so I mean, basically it was just a great overall showing from the Chargers, man, on both phases. I mean, even though the defense did lack at certain points, because Joe Burrow was still able to put up about 22 points, still, it wasn't enough to beat this team and this high-powered offense overall. So great overall game, man. Great showing from them.
Yeah, like I mentioned that. Yeah, the defense played pretty clutch in the end. I think Chris Harris had a big interception in the red zone.
Yeah, he did in the end zone.
On Joe Burrow, so that was key to the game. And the defense just taking the ball over away from the Bengals. So like you said, the game comes down a lot to turnovers. And Joe Burrow, I think he threw 2 picks in this game. So QBs can't turn over the ball, and that's the key. Herbert only had 1 INT, and yeah, so it comes up to who makes less turnovers in games, who capitalizes as well. And so
exactly.
Both teams are 7-5, so both jockeying in that that wild card spot in the AFC. So see how they both finish out the rest of the season.
Yeah, the AFC is looking really tight this year, man. Looking really tight.
Not too many teams that are separating themselves from each other.
Nope. Yeah, not at all. It's anybody's game right now. All right, next game in week 13, sir. We did make a prediction on who else did we make a prediction on? Cardinals and the Bears.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was kind of a bad
I don't know why you picked them.
Kyler Murray, but maybe I was right, because remember I said he wasn't gonna throw the ball a lot, and I said he's gonna be coming back healthy. Yeah. But what they did do is they had a good game plan. They established the run. Connor played pretty well, but you see, it was 11 for 16, so he wasn't gonna open up the entire offense back coming from the injury. But yeah, Chicago, man, Andy Dalton, 4 picks. This is why he's not a consistent starter. This is why I don't know why he shouted that he should be a starter. I think they should have. Justin Fields is hurt, right? Or he's just back up right now. Is he healthy? Or is he hurt?
I think he's healthy, but they just decided to move forward with Andy Dalton. Because I think just with how Justin Fields, games have been, like how his season was progressing, it wasn't really looking too good. So they're like, all right, maybe he needs some time. I think that's what happened. They named Dalton the starter just due to Justin Fields' progression, I feel.
Yeah, but losing this game, now they're 4-8. Dalton threw 4 picks, turnovers like crazy. I think the last 5 games of the season, they should stick with Justin Fields, see how it plays out. Because like you said, like they're not making the playoffs for sure. I think that's why they put Dalton to see like can they still sneak into that wild card spot if they get hot.
Mm-hmm.
4-8, they're not making the playoffs. Might as well
Definitely not.
stick with Justin Fields to play out the rest of the season, see how he develops. And yeah, great game by the Cardinals. You know, Kyler Murray was efficient, not a lot of passes. Had a good balance of pass and run. And the Cardinals are looking pretty good, 10-2. Yeah. So
Yeah,
cool to see that was a good pick.
yeah, and these guys are the the NFC leaders right now. Their record is amazing. I mean, 10-2, like who would have thought, just from where the Arizona Cardinals have come from. And again, one day they decide to fire their head coach and decide to, get a new one and draft a quarterback in the first round, and then it just all turns around. I mean, these are the success stories that you kind of envision when you decide to restart and rebuild a team. I'm sure this is what your Jets have been looking to do for how many years, bro, but it just don't work. Like, it just doesn't work for everybody. It's worked for them though so far. And also, I mean, the Arizona Cardinals have built a great defense, man. I mean, like the Russian with Chandler Jones, and then you have Buda Baker in the secondary. You have Byron Murphy in the secondary. Like, these guys are all like key contributing factors. Jordan Hicks, like all these guys play so cohesively on the defensive side, and they're a force to be reckoned with. And they're not even fully healthy. I mean, they're missing JJ Watt, who's also a contributing force on the rush end. But yeah, just their defense, man, again, forcing those 4 turnovers, right? That's really the story of this game. Kyler Murray didn't really have to do too much, just kind of have to manage the game a little bit, make key plays here and there. He used his legs very efficiently, didn't really have to throw, didn't make any terrible decisions, right? That's basically how you play the game, man, and they played it well. Great overall game. Again, great to see the connection revived again with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, they had a nice touchdown connection. James Conner as well. Sorry, did I even say his name right? And he was Connor. Yeah. Again, had a great run game. Great one-handed catch.
I seen that.
That led to a touchdown. Yeah. So I mean, like, this guy is, I mean, that's Pittsburgh's loss right there, because definitely, I mean, of course Pittsburgh moved forward with Najee Harris. Najee Harris is doing his thing, but James Conner is definitely a great piece to have. And Arizona is really, taking advantage of that, and they're doing well. So yeah, man, shout out to Arizona, man. Again, they're top of the NFC. They doing their thing, bro. They doing their thing.
Bro, do you think they win the NFC this year? Do you think they represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? Because think about it, you have Cardinals, you have Packers, you have the Rams who are decent. You have a lot of teams that are kind of up there in the top. Cowboys could be there. Who do you think Cardinals have a good chance?
I feel like Cardinals do have a good chance. I see the potential of them actually beating, teams like the like Green Bay, like the Rams, like Tampa Bay as well. Just due to the fact that, like, just their play calling, their offensive style is just so effective. You know what I'm saying? It's really so effective. Whether it be on the ground or it be in the air, it's just a lot. They have a lot of moving pieces. I mean, Rondell Moore, again, Connor, DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler is just, again, leads it all. It it's hard to beat. And I'm like literally when I think about them, their two losses that occurred this season, like that loss to Green Bay shouldn't have been a loss. Like if you think about it, the Kyler Murray really was setting himself up for one of the greatest comebacks for the season. I'm telling you, that that last drive leading up to the end of the game, right, where again he threw the ball and AJ Green wasn't even looking, and it ended up being intercepted.
Yeah.
Like that should have, like, the story should have been written differently. Like I feel like definitely if AJ Green, if everyone had did their part, if AJ Green looked back for the ball, that would have been a touchdown for sure. All right. So I feel like the losses, like it's hard for this ball team to lose games, really. Like they really have to mess up. You know what I'm saying? They're a really good cohesive team and a force to be reckoned with. And I feel like they could, like, you can match up against anyone and they can take it. There's always that opportunity.
Especially if the defense, I think the key to defense, like how they play defensively against teams like you said, Tampa, Green Bay, maybe Dallas, the Rams, how well the defense can hold up, because a lot of those teams have high-powered offenses. They do too, but I think it comes down to which team's playing the better defense. So if the defense can keep playing well and keep making a lot of turnovers like they did last week, they have a chance to upset a lot of those more favorite teams like the Buccaneers or the Packers. So to me, like, it's how the defense plays. Like, yeah, they have all the pieces. They have the best record, the best team so far in the NFC, and so it's gonna be really interesting how they play down the stretch. I'm not gonna give them right now my pick for the NFC just yet, but I want to see how the next few games go before I make that prediction.
I feel you.
No, I mean we look early in the.
It is a little early still. It's early days still. I mean, can you believe it? It's week 13, but
crazy.
It's there's still like a good 5 games to go. So yeah, man, we'll see how it progresses, man. But
so right now 3-1 you, and then I won the last game. I think the Steelers Ravens. That game was down to the wire. Lamar Jackson didn't play too well in that game. A lot of people are saying that what's wrong with him, what's going on. Their offense has kind of been slacking the last few weeks. Pittsburgh did end up losing the game this Thursday, which that was kind of
they just not that good. Like like they have some I guess nostalgic moments where you look at Ben Roethlisberger and you're just like, maybe he ain't done yet, but he done. Like he done after this season, he done.
He's done.
I believe he's done. I don't think that it was the Ravens offense not playing well. It was the Pittsburgh D really showing up. TJ Watt was after Lamar Jackson's ass. Like,
he was a beast.
Yeah, like that dude is unblockable, relentless. Like, I don't know how you stop that man. And for sure that dude is winning defensive player of the year. For sure. There's no question. Again, just that one man can impact the game so easily. You know what I'm saying? He's just a force to be reckoned with, and Lamar really couldn't handle that. If his O-line was able to really protect him from TJ Watt, give him some time to really get the ball downfield or at least run, because I mean, Lamar couldn't even effectively run as much as he wanted to. He tried to escape the pocket and still get caught. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't attribute it to the Ravens offense not playing well. I mean, I feel like they tried their best and kept the game close, or at least within a range to be able to win the game. But TJ Watt is such an impact, and he made plays that were key, that again, like, he basically made that play that stopped the 2-point conversion from happening, right, to win the game, right. Just him being that force. he's basically a thorn in Lamar's side, bro. It sucks, but that's just how it is. And yeah, that's how
Yeah,
Pittsburgh got the win.
he was definitely like a menace, on the defensive line. He had 3.5 sacks and 3 TFLs. He was like all over the backfield in this game. But you're right, like Lamar, his numbers don't look pretty good, like 250 yards passing. It's just like their offense in terms of in the red zone, like you said, like usually they were at this point last year, they were putting up a lot more touchdowns than they were this year. So I think that's where people are coming from, or I guess the media. Um, yeah, the Steelers. I think this is a rivalry game that's always gonna be tight. So it's always a coin toss. Steelers could win, Ravens could win. And like you said, the Ravens could have easily won that game. They got the 2-point conversion. Yeah, that was a decent game you know, by the Steelers. They said Roethlisberger showed a little bit like I'm back a little bit up until this Thursday,
Mhm.
and then yeah, the defense played like crazy. So then that's the Steelers need. I think they got to rely a lot on their defense, which sucks. But they're like Chase Claypool, like I think he had a critical play in the end of the game this Thursday where he was like celebrating when they got a first down. That kind of like someone knocked the ball out the hands. That took a lot of time off the clock. But yeah, I think the Steelers like they just don't got the juice this year, especially on offense coming from the QB position. So yeah, they need the defense to play lights out every game like they did, or else they're not going to win games. So that's how I see that game going, and the Steelers going forward as well. Like they're gonna need their defense to play like top notch, bro, just for them to win games.
Yeah, definitely. Like they have to rely so heavily on their defense. And yeah, I'm just noticing, that Chase Claypool moment, man, that just showed, he wasn't really for the team in that moment.
Yeah.
He made it about him, just celebrating the first down. But it's like, did you see how much time was left? Did you know what the offense was trying to do? Like you're trying to hurry up, right? You're in a hurry up moment. There's no time to celebrate your first down. You know what I'm saying? Like football IQ and just not being a selfish player, man. That's just like those things are important. Those are the things you got to take into account. And I didn't really like that from Chase, to be honest. Um, but yeah, man, ultimately like what we were saying before, just going back to the point. Pittsburgh's defense, man, they can be elite, man. They really can be elite. Minka Fitzpatrick made a key interception as well in the end zone against Lamar. Like there's just something about that Pittsburgh defense, that Lamar can't fully, they
Yeah.
can't fully work around. You know what I'm saying? And they again, that's just when they're on point, the Pittsburgh defense, they're on point. So um I mean that's good. That's a good sign for the team, of course. Their defense is not really the issue. Um, if they can get a good quarterback moving forward and play some unselfish football, I'm sure that they can win more games moving forward. And Mike Tomlin would be that winning record coach that he's used to being, because this record is not looking too good at all this year. Just kind of really a chink in his armor. But yeah, we'll see how they look moving forward. And honestly, I don't discount Baltimore either. I mean, they're 8-4, so again,
They still got a chance.
still a top team in the AFC. You can't really count any of these teams out in the AFC, man. It's really a toss-up. For real this year.
Yeah, even the Steelers, they have a tough schedule coming up. Steelers have like Titans, to Tennessee, Kansas City, Cleveland, and then back to Baltimore. So that's a tough schedule. Like I know Mike Tomlin never had a losing season, but this year's gonna be a fight just to have like an above 500 record and make the playoffs. So anything is possible, but with that schedule down the stretch, like they gotta win out most of their games. So
Yeah,
that's a tough schedule. So yeah, this year might be the year that they don't make the playoffs again, bro.
no, not at all. And shoot, just like man, because I literally thought, like, I was amped. Like, I was literally thinking that Ravens got this game, bro. And I'm like, wow, like, y'all are going to go for the 2-point conversion to win the game right here and now within regulation. You're not even going to try to put the game, like, just allow the game to go into OT. I'm like, all right, you guys got balls for sure. Like, it's a very high risk decision from Harbaugh for sure. But I'm like, you know what? The way that they had momentum on their side, during that play, I was thinking, all right, yo, we got this. But
Nah, man.
it wasn't to be, man. TJ Watt again just made a key play. I mean, he even really like basically just had his hand up, right, to impede Lamar's throw a little bit. Lamar had to kind of, toss it a little bit, around that
Yeah,
pressure.
sideways, like a baseball
Yeah.
throw.
And like, I feel like Mark Andrews still could have caught it if he didn't try to attempt. Like, if he tried to like reach out for a little bit more, I feel like he could have caught it, but still, it impeded the throw enough to just not be a successful 2-point conversion. And it just, that burned me a little bit, bro. Like, I was so cheesed. Like, I was actually upset. But enough of that, man, because that game's gonna get me riled up and whatnot. So that's the end of the predictions right there, right?
Yeah, so 3-2, great week for you. You said, it's down to the wire those last few games, but
yes, sir.
Yep. But let's move on to week 14. There's some great games this week.
Some great games today. Ravens and the Browns. I'm looking at that one. Raiders and the Chiefs. I'm looking at that one too, even though I don't know about the Raiders, but I'm looking at that one.
Bills Bucks game.
Bulls in the Bucks. Yeah. Wait, so
San Fran, Cincinnati.
Yeah, Bills and the Bucks. Yeah.
And then
San Fran and Cincinnati also looks like a good game too.
Monday Night Football, Rams, Cardinals.
Great game right there. We have enough games to put our predictions on. Enough games. It's an easy week here.
Yeah, so let's try to get these games out before the games have already started. So let's try to get these games out.
For the 1:00 games.
So what game you want to start with?
Ravens and Browns.
Ooh, bro, rivalry game. It's gonna be tight game, just like you saw with Ravens Steelers. 1-point game, 1 touchdown game, 1 possession game.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, the Ravens, man, their offense. I believe in Lamar, but it's such a tight divisional game. Could go either way. It's a coin toss. So I'm gonna go upset here to meet.
You're gonna go with the Browns, right?
With the Browns, bro.
I knew you would go with them.
I think it's at home. It's at home, bro.
The dog pound.
Ravens lost the last game to Steelers at home, so I think they're struggling on the road a little bit. So I'm gonna stick with the home team here. The dog pound gets it done. Cleveland. Baker Mayfield, it's inconsistently. He's an average quarterback, but in this type of game, low scoring game, you rely more on your run game. I don't think I'm gonna rely on him to pass the ball and ball out on offense. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go. They rely on a run pass balance, and the Browns get a W at home in the dog pound.
I see you. And I knew you would go with them, bro. Like, for some reason, you like to go against the, you always like to go with the upsets. But man, I don't believe in the dog pound at all. I don't believe in that boy Baker Mayfield, man, under center. I do not believe in him. If they have Nick Chubb and my dude healthy,
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt. Then, I mean, it's going to be I feel like it's going to be tough for the Ravens to win. But I just feel like Lamar is going to really try to turn it up this week. He's going to try to, again, he's probably been hearing so much about, the offense not being as effective as they have been in the past. And, the lack of points put on the board, as you had previously mentioned. Feel like he's going to turn it up. He's going to be able to escape the pocket. He's going to be able to evade Myles Garrett. He's going to be able to get the ball to Mark Andrews, get the ball to Hollywood Brown. Guys that have been key this year. And I'm just hoping that, like, honestly, I feel like just that game against the Steelers, it really burned them. I saw all the emotion that, Lamar expressed on the sideline, not being able to convert that 2-point conversion. I feel like he's going to be playing with a vengeance. And you already know how a focused Lamar Jackson can play, man. That man could be, just deadly. So I'm going to go with the Ravens here. And I just, again, don't believe in the dog pound, man. I feel like they're going to be a declining team. And it's all going to be due to that dude under center.
We'll see. But let's have a little faith just for this week. Baker, do some. Show me all those commercials that are gonna pay off just for just for this game.
Those commercials be ruining his ego, bro. Like it be making him think that he's larger than life. But nah, bro. Like you gotta bring yourself back down to earth. You are not that guy.
Next game, Raiders Chiefs already started. Chiefs already scored on the kickoff return. Ooh.
Oh my lord!
Man, I was gonna go Raiders.
I was gonna go Raiders too. Shoot, then if we're gonna, what are you gonna change your mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chiefs time.
I'll go with the Raiders, man. I mean, although they've gotten down early, man, it's just one score. Man, I just honestly, maybe I'm just that guy that just wants to root against the Chiefs, man. I think that's mainly what it is. There's two teams that I like to root against. Actually, three teams.
Mahomes.
Man, I don't really like. I'm not really the biggest Mahomes fan like that. I think he's portrayed that he's been good. Like he's done great things within this league. Achieved some great things, but he just doesn't have it going, man. I feel like teams have kind of figured him out now, and he's just not going to be he's not going to achieve those years that he had earlier on in his career. That's what I feel. So due to that fact, man, I don't know about him no more.
I mean, he's having an off year. Even the games they won, even the last game they won, he didn't put a big number. It's been the defense. Exactly. So I don't know, something's weird this year. The offense is not in sync. The offensive coordinator is not in sync with Mahomes calling the plays. He's not seeing it how he saw it last year in terms of his reads. But they're winning a lot of games down the stretch. They're 8-4. I believe they get it done. Like I said, they lean on their defense. And like you said, like he hopefully can get in sync and play how he was the last few years in these last few games. But I think they take this game, they already got a lead, and they keep leading. I think they win tonight.
I mean, we'll see. I'm just gonna go with the Raiders because, like, I feel like Derek Carr needs to really turn it up, man. I feel like this is a very much needed game, and yeah, I mean, they really need to, like, I mean, if they're trying to stay in the race, man, they need to win this game ultimately. So just due to that fact, bro, like,
yeah, must-win game.
Yeah.
All right, next game. There's so many games. What games you want to go? You want to go with the 49ers Bengals or Bills Buccaneers?
Yeah, we can go with both of those games. But it depends on who you're gonna pick for the Bengals and the 49ers. Who you gonna pick? I feel like I'd pick the Bengals.
Really?
I feel like Joe Burrow is gonna make a bounce back, and I feel like I feel like this game could very well be a toss-up still, because I mean 49ers are not playing bad, but just their loss that they had against Seattle, man. There was, Jimmy Garoppolo threw quite a bit of turnovers in that game. Like, he kind of threw a couple interceptions, didn't make the best decisions. I feel like he was rattled a little bit, so I don't know if he'll be able to bounce back. But I know Joe Burrow, man, that guy is he's proven a bounce back. He's shown that he's an elite level quarterback. Even at his young age, he has great weapons. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. As long as Jamar Chase catches a damn ball, like, they're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Bengals defense is not talked about enough either, so I feel like their defense has been pretty effective. They got dudes. They got Bates. In the secondary against scary free safety. They got Awuzie, they got dudes that make plays, of course. So yeah, I feel like they could probably pull it out against the 49ers. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 49ers on this one. I think if Jimmy G cleans up some of those few INTs he threw last week against the Seahawks, like I said, that was a pretty surprising game. Most people were going for San Fran to win that game and
Yeah,
kind of
I thought San Fran would have won that too.
yeah, and kind of extend their lead a little bit in their division. But that's kind of surprising loss with Seattle. It's always tough to play at Seattle. So this game again is on the road at Cincinnati. But I think the 49ers, Jimmy G's not playing that bad, but I think he finds a way to win this game. Like you said, 49ers are a very sleeper team. So I think they're still underrated, and I'm going to take Jimmy G to bounce back and play well in this game. So I'm going to go 49ers on the road, establish a run a little bit. And they said Deebo Samuel's going to play this game. So he is going to play. So I think they win this game. I'm going to go 49ers.
We'll see. And yeah, I'd even mention the Bengals run game. I mean, when Joe Mixon has it going, he has it going too. So, I mean, there's a good overall offense. And again, their defense can definitely make stops, key stops, and force turnovers. And I feel like Jimmy is a little rattled. So we'll see, bro. We'll see. Next game, Bills and the Bucks.
I'm going to upset here. I'm going for.
You're gonna go with the Bills, right?
Going with the Bills, yeah, man. I'm going to
upset here. Well, I'm gonna go with Tom Brady, the GOAT, because I've never been one to. I mean, I used to go against Tom Brady, the GOAT, but I've learned my lesson quite a bit times. So I'm not going against that dude. The Bucks get it, man. They're gonna win this game.
Bro, as Jets fans listening right here, I'm gonna always go against Tom Brady when I can. And Buffalo is I guess close to Toronto. They're the hometown team to Toronto. Not my team, but I think they get this done. I think they learned from the loss last week, and that's a humbling experience. They lost to a QB that threw 3 times. And they ran the ball down their throat 40 plus times. That's a check. Linebackers, D-line, safety, the whole defense they go back to the meeting room the following week and they're like, yo, this can't happen again. We can't allow a team to just run the ball like that on our throat.
Definitely.
And the Bucs are going to try that, with Leonard Fournette. And they're going to try to run the ball down their throat. And I think they're going to expect that coming up. And so all they got to do is, get to Tom Brady, put a lot of pressure on him, limit him in the pocket. Don't let him sit there in the pocket and just pretend like he's on vacation and throwing short passes. And the Bucs will kind of, take this game for granted. And Buffalo's still a good team. Like, let's not forget, Buffalo's a good team. Like, not playing as well as last year, but just still a good team. So I'm gonna go upset here and go Buffalo.
Man, I don't think Tom Brady ever takes a game for granted, man. And honestly, man, I've been betting against Tom Brady his whole career, bro. I've never wanted him to win any of the Super Bowls that he's won. Always rooted against the opposite team. And what had happened, right? Like, if you see the results of what had happened in the span of his career, man, he's always proven to get those wins, get those W's when it most matters, and just be not the self-proclaimed, but it's widely proclaimed GOAT. Like, he's the greatest of all time, man. So I'm not gonna go against that man. They got they could very well run the ball down Buffalo's throats again, man. I don't know if their defense is gonna be able to step up to the pressure. And again, they don't only just have a run game with Leonard Fournette, but they have the pass game with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and of course Gronkowski. Just weapons on weapons, man. That offense is very high powered, man, and it's going to be hard to stop them. I don't know if Buffalo is going to be out for the challenge, but we'll see if the Bucs are going to be out for the challenge too. Because I mean, of course, Buffalo could very well be. They have a high powered offense themselves, so we'll see. But I'm gonna go with the again, the GOAT, because I'm gonna
go Tom Brady.
I'm thinking that he's gonna be able to outduel Josh Allen at the end of the day and put up more points than they do.
Right, he's gonna have a couple off games. Age is always a factor. He's always beaten Father Time, but he has kind of a few off games. I think it's one of those games where kind of like, ooh, Kind of an off game. I think that's one of those games, especially because the Bills are a good team. So
I feel like they have to get it going. Leading again, they're leading up to the playoffs, man. They're getting down. They're getting to the the postseason where they have to be on. So I feel like just like how it was last year when Tom Brady really got it going toward the end of the season, that's going to be the case this year too.
But I think the Bills kind of a must-win game because they're in the hunt to make the playoffs, especially in the same division as the Patriots, 7-5. They can't keep losing games. They gotta win this game. Must-win game. Bills get it done. Book it, y'all. Book it. Book this one.
This is definitely a must-watch game. So we'll see, man. That's definitely a must-watch game, bro. This game could go either way.
Yeah, coin toss right there.
Is that 5 games right there?
That's 4. Last game, Rams Cardinals. I'm going to upset here. I know. I was like, you're gonna go against the Cardinals again? Yes, I'm gonna go against the Cardinals again.
Jeez,
the Rams are a good team.
They are, but
like I said, like they got the offense to keep up with the Cardinals, unlike Chicago did. They got the offense to do it. All Matt Stafford has to do is limit the turnovers, and ball out in Sean McVay's system, air raid, high octane system in the shotgun, and just do his thing, man. Like I know you know Van Jefferson played all right last week or the week before that. During the bye last week. I saw Cooper Kupp. I think he finds a way get the ball to his tight ends. Higby. And they find a way to keep up with the Cardinals. All you need to do is keep up with the Cardinals. The Cardinals defense is going to see a completely different offense. It's not Andy Dalton. It's Matthew Stafford. Completely different game plan going in.
Yeah,
I think they pull off the upset. 2 warm weather teams. The game's in Arizona. I'm going to LA right here.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, man. I mean, like, did you think anything else, bro? Did you I'm gonna go with them Cardinals, bro. Kyler Murray, man, again, superstar, bro. I cannot doubt their offensive talent, bro. The offensive powerhouse, man. They find ways to move the ball effectively, and they score points, man. I mean, Matthew Stafford, in the LA Rams, they should be potentially like that, but Matthew Stafford, he doesn't always get it going, man. There's certain throws that he misses. There's certain drops that are made. Van Jefferson be dropping balls. Only guy that you can really rely on to catch the ball, like 99% of the ball, 99% of the time is Cooper Kupp. I don't even know if Odell Beckham is going to be, as like that trustworthy. Like, I mean, he's definitely a great talent, but I don't know about him being that trusty as well. I feel like also the LA Rams, man, their defense, man, they haven't been playing up to their potential either. And that's why I feel like Arizona is going to find it fairly easy to be able to score points in this game. I mean, definitely it's a matchup between DeAndre Hopkins and of course, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah,
great matchup.
But I mean, we'll see. Honestly, I mean, just the other targets that Kyler Murray has, I feel like he'll be able to make good use of that. I mean, of course, Jalen Ramsey can shut down one side of the field, but again, there's just so many other factors within Kyler Murray's game. Again, with his legs, his escapability. Again, Connor has been playing very well. Having a great year at running back, so we'll see how it goes. But I feel like their offense is way too high powered for the Rams defense, who again just haven't been playing as cohesively and haven't been playing up to their potential.
Two decent good teams, 2 teams that I believe are going to be in the playoffs. It's a divisional game, so you see these guys twice a year, every year. It's going to be a high scoring game, or it could be a low scoring game, but it's going to be a 1 possession game. So it's going to be a tight game. Mm-hmm. Both coaches staff know each other real well.
Definitely.
And I'm definitely going to upset here.
Of course, man.
Let's go 5 for 5 this week. 5 for 5.
Nah, that's not happening.
Stay with me. 5 for 5.
What we need is another win from me. All right. I need another week to go my way. All right. I'm tired of all these L's. It's gonna go different this year, this time.
So that's 5 games there for y'all right there. If y'all want to lock those in on my side or Josh's side, you can.
Go with me
And
because we're gonna win.
go with me. You know, the upsets pays well. You know. And yeah, so that's 5 games this week. Should be pretty good. Get you those games before the game get too much in the first quarter. Yes, that's the NFL this week. Anything you want to bring up else this week?
There hasn't been any big NFL news except for maybe a former NFL player. I just want to pay my respects to Demaryius Thomas. Rest in peace to that,
Yeah.
man. Rest in peace, man. He died at 33, man. Just
Very young, man.
that's a very young age, man. And I don't even know the full story as to how what was the cause of death, man. But we're just losing too many good ones, man. Just to let y'all know, life is short, man. You gotta really do just do the most, do what you can, make sure that try to make life as meaningful as possible. Don't hold back, chase your dreams, just try to make the most of life, guys, because again, you never know when your end date is coming. So again, rest in peace to Demaryius Thomas, man. Shout out to his family, shout out to all his former teammates, man. And they probably playing these games with a heavy heart too. So
yeah. Like you said, rest in peace. Like you said, great player for the Broncos the years he plays, multiple Pro Bowl player. They didn't really release all the details. They did mention that a few of his older teammates said that he did have a lot of seizures the last few years. So I don't know that that's related to anything football-wise or anything that happened after his career. It definitely prayers out to him and his family. I believe the Broncos are going to honor him at their next game, I believe this week. So they're going to maybe wear patches or something on their helmet to kind of honor him. Yeah, definitely. Prayers out to him and his family, and like you said, they take advantage of the day because, like you said, he was only 33, so plenty of life to live. And anyone else listening, you have plenty of life to live as well. And so, like you said, don't take it for granted. And anything can happen. So live every day like it's the fullest.
Yeah, definitely.
All
right. You already know, family.
You already know. Thank y'all for listening. It's your boy Denver, your boy Josh. Always giving the NFL news. Next week we'll probably get back to a little bit of NBA. A few more stuff's happening in NBA, so we want to see how it plays out. But definitely get back to that NBA news for you. Sir. Appreciate all love.
Yes, again, thank you for all your support, guys. We love y'all, man. We love y'all. Peace, man. Blessings. You already know.
Blessings. All right.